Okay, now you should be able to. Now I believe you should be able to hear me.
Yep.
Yes, I can hear you, Saroj.
Thank you.
Hi, Sunil.
Hi, Marzi.
Hi.
Hi. How's everything?
Everything is fine besides the Sunday afternoon sleep.
That's why I'm sipping on some green tea here just to keep me also awake.
But yeah, but I didn't want to miss this for anything.
Yeah, nice. And Saroj, how are you doing? You all the way from Geneva. How's everything?
Thank you. I'm honored to be one of the participants. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad.
We are doing well. We have a heat wave here. Today
Okay.
it's 36 degrees, and they warned us.
Okay.
How much you said? 56?
36.
36.
26.
36.
Oh, 36 is like it's like winter in Mumbai.
36 Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yeah. So that's like winter in Mumbai. So.
Oh, well, it's hot here. But thank you for asking. All well.
Nice. It's very nice to see you after we've been always chatting over the text and all that stuff. So today we at least put a face to a conversation.
Thank you. Everything you give is very useful. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. So I think we have a few more people who are going to be joining, and I don't know how many are going to be in now. So I was supposed to send out the invites today also as reminder, but then I said no, I'll just take it easy on that. So, but I think I have Dinah also, who's just joined along.
Hi, Sunil.
There you are, Dinah. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, dear. Dinah, we have here Marcy from Bombay itself. And,
hi, Dinah.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
And we have Saroj all the way from Geneva.
Oh, hi, Saroj.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Dinah also is a personal trainer also. So she is into training, and also I asked her, to join along with us because she also had some few queries. So I could, at one platform try to solve everybody with the same thing,
Yes.
First of all, I am sorry for your loss. I want to say for Dinah, she lost her grandfather, right?
Grandfather, yes.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Dinah.
Thank you. Don't worry. He was quite old.
Okay.
He was 95 years old.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he was very old, yeah. Come.
So it would have been nice to have him also, to know how he lived 95,
Yes, full of life, yeah.
Full of life.
Maybe Dinah was his trainer.
No. No.
Okay, folks. I don't know how is it with the others also here. I have Pari also here, but where's Pari? She's not yet joined along. If you're now, you're all, hi, Pari.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hi, Pari.
Hi,
Why are we
Dinah.
not seeing you?
Hi, Pari.
We can't see you.
You can't see me? Okay.
Pari, I hope that's not deliberate.
Okay, now can you see me? Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Pari.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. For those who don't know, I think Saroj, you don't know, that's Pari. She's my better half.
Oh, how nice to see you and meet you. You're
But we
lucky.
can't see you, Pari. We can't see
Yeah,
you.
she's there. She's there.
No, even I
I
can't
can't
see
see.
her.
You have to swipe your phone.
Oh
Just swipe.
yes. Hi.
Yeah, you have to swipe it on the other side. Just
Yeah.
better.
Hi. Hi. I hope,
I
I don't want to keep on touching anything lest I'm not able to reconnect.
Okay. I have now Dr. Vidya also joining us in. So I think it's best for us to right now just to start off with the conversation and all. We now most of you all already know whoever is here. They all know what I've been doing. So if you all have any questions right now for me, you all want to put across, then yeah, feel free, you know. And Diana, you had some question with regards to your training and all what you do in your personal
Yes.
training. Yeah. So I have kind of later on during the presentation, I will share the screen and I'll show you all certain things with regards to how the certain positioning of your feet, your legs. There are four common mistakes which people are doing. Yeah, like especially in your deadlifts,
Correct.
in your squatting,
Correct.
in your shoulder presses. This is a very dangerous and accident-prone exercise. So I have some few slides made on those, which I'll share across later in the course of the presentation. But in the meantime, if you all have anything, Saroj, Marzi, Pari, Diana, you all have anything as such that you all want to ask, feel free. Let's take this ahead and, let's see how we can make it more interactive for now.
I don't know whether you want to make it interactive, but interesting if you want to make, then I have an interesting question. How
Yes.
can we live healthy without exercising?
Go to the Himalayas. or where Saroj is, you can just go down there to the go to the Swiss Alps.
Wow,
Come.
it would be beautiful where Saroj is living. But anyways, so of course then that gets us to the fact that yes, exercising is very important. So now we take it forward from there.
Yes.
There are pros and cons between where I am and where you are.
That's right. Now, whether you have more pros or we have more cons, we don't know, but
You're welcome. Come anytime. Any one of you come here, let me know. I'll be very happy to meet you.
Yes.
I was planning a trip this December and I was going to meet you, Sunil. And I was going to come and show you my body to say this is where I need help, because one-to-one is the best way to determine.
Always.
But with the virus, I think one should stay safe and not travel this year at all.
That's true. We have to now move everything for 2021 now. So we can't do anything as such. Hi, Arash. We have Arash here joined along. We have Delna. Hi, Arash.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Nice, Arash. Good to see you. So how's the training going on with you?
Oh, big time. With my bulk season, now doing cut season, and getting ready bigger and bigger day by day.
Okay,
you lock me down with dumbbells at home and TRX. What do you expect?
Exactly, that's true. We have to try to make the best of whatever we have right now. A bit of Arash himself, he's also a trainer, and he's also a mixed martial art fighter himself. And he has done a couple of movies also in the South.
Yes, sir. Just signed the next one.
Just signed the next one. Oh, nice. So that's good. So it's nice to have you guys on board. And let's see what else we have. Now, see, the thing is, I had left the floor open because most of you who are here already know me, what I've been doing, and I don't need a self-introduction about myself. So I was just leaving the floor open with regards to what questions you all had, or if you all have any question with regards to your training, exercise, diet regimes, or whatever is there, sports injuries like for you, Arash, So we could just go along on the floor and talk about it and try to see if that can help others also, So one platform for all. That's the whole idea.
Wonderful. How about you start something? I mean, I always say you're a pendulum of the knowledge. You're a treasure of the knowledge. So anywhere we can ask and you have all the answers. So that's amazing. So how about we start with something which is, I believe everyone would be interested. You pick up the topic, but something from the nutrition. Like I have my muesli and stuff with me.
Yes.
So something nutrition wise, so everyone can get happy with things. As we know, immune system is important, nutrition, and then we can get to the more specific later.
Okay. So I believe my whole idea for this was to talk about the different techniques of exercise. But then if you want to go on the nutrition level, then I don't mind talking about the nutrition also. So it's again, I'm going to leave the platform open for everybody. If you all want me to talk about the nutrition, we can talk about the nutrition. And if you want to talk about the different techniques, or we can try to combine both and try to see how we can take this up further.
Thank you.
So now, because you guys are already, yes, Diana.
Yeah, even I need to know about the soreness part.
Yes.
So people keep asking, after the training that I didn't get any soreness, so the workout was not good. My clients keep asking that question. So I keep, answering them back saying that it's not necessary to get soreness after every workout because we have to be consistent and the muscles, with one pattern, if I choose one pattern, that person has to do for 15 days or at least a month.
Yes.
And progressively once we take the weights higher, then you will start getting soreness. If you're doing this consistent same weight, you may not get that soreness, in your this. So I need to know about the soreness part also.
See, it's not necessary that you should always be sore after training. Soreness happens only when you are getting in a new technique or a new form of exercise for your, if you're doing a new body part or you're doing a new variation, that's when you will feel the soreness, right? And the soreness should not be more than 2 to 3 days. If it is more than that, that means you have actually you don't have soreness, but you have an injury. You get my point?
Right.
Yes. And also when you have soreness, suppose, now if I have exercised something new now, a lot of people are going to, once they have come out of the lockdown, they're going to hit the gym. They are going to have the soreness for 2 to 3 days, right? And that shouldn't stop them from getting to the gym because soreness is killed by exercising again.
Correct.
Until unless you have injured yourself, like I'm saying. Okay, and coming to the part now, there are some people who might not feel the soreness also. But that doesn't mean that they are not training effectively.
Right.
You get my point?
Yes.
And there is also another form of soreness is called burning. And that's when you will burning, the burning sensation when you are doing your abs. That's the kind of a thing where you are doing a lot of your crunches. Then you start feel the burn within. So that's also a sign. Right? It's not a sign of soreness, but it's a sign of that you have trained.
Right.
So again, see, soreness should be determined exactly by, if you're a trainer here, so you should exactly determine what kind of a soreness it is. Is it a muscle soreness or is it really an injury?
Right.
But how do you, Sunil, how would you know whether the soreness is leading to injury? It can,
but that is, I would say that soreness leading to injury happens maybe 1 to 2%. It will never ever happen that a soreness would lead to an injury, okay? Because see, a soreness is basically related to your muscle. It's just like it has been stretched to a certain, what it is not used to, it's being used to doing that right now. And that's again, it's after 2-3 days of the soreness is gone, what we term it as a muscle memory. So that muscle or that what you have done is builds up a memory that it can now, that exercise what you're doing, right? It will overcome that soreness.
You get used to.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.
So antioxidants like omega-3, I believe it will help to reduce the soreness. Am I right, Sunil?
Omega-3 works for the joints, and omega-3 and also it works for the brain, right? But for the soreness, BCAA, that's the best form, amino acids. That is the work that works to help to replenish and rejuvenate your muscles back. Whereas you talk of omega-3 itself is basically very, it's for people who have joint issues. Omega-3 works well with them.
Okay. So nothing to do exactly with
no, it will not. Okay. No.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So omega-3 basically is for lubrication as well as for the mental health or your brain cells, gray cells.
Wonderful.
So that's why they say,
speaking of soreness, let's continue with soreness. Funny thing I noticed that like I do a squat at home, right? There's no much of weight. It's not like 100 kilo, 200 kilos. It's all body weight squat. So I try to do variation with pistol or sumo squat, wide squat, like all different, TheraBand. And still, believe me, now I've been doing exercise during the lockdown for almost, it's been 3 months, like continuously every day. I do at least one body part. And I do get soreness. And that's a very fun part about it. And I enjoy it because I don't find any other pleasure that you can get. Like as Arnold said, the pump, the blood flow in your vein is the best feeling. And I still do get it. I'm happy about it.
Exactly. How long have you been training now, Arash?
3 months continuous regular. But if you talk overall, it's been 15 years.
15 years. Yeah. So your 15 years, your body has been used to certain variation already with the weights in the gym and all that stuff. So now for the last 3 months, your body has been forced to train in a different way. So that is why you feel the soreness also, because your muscle memory is telling like, what's happening here? I'm used to doing this movement by this particular way, but now he's doing a TheraBand, so something is wrong somewhere. So that's where the muscle, your memory.
I'm using this time, like for example, if I want to give you an example, a single leg deadlift with dumbbell. One of the exercise I really were not enjoying it in a gym. Like I was thinking like, why should I do single leg deadlift with dumbbell? Like when I can do the proper deadlift, one of the exercise, but not because my weights are not that heavy. So my both legs are so strong that they can easily manage. So I have to do it single leg. So all the weight comes on one leg. And I am enjoying it. I'm like, I feel my hamstrings are really getting a shock that, okay, this is the exercise that maybe in gym, you were thinking of it as a waste of time. Sorry to say it, but it was mentality. But now because I'm forced to, I'm doing it and my body is reacting to it like something new for it. So yes.
That is true. It is always a nice way because when we talk about the weights also, there was one of the forms which I want to specify also today is like when we are training at home. So a lot of people have limited weights. So some people have only a dumbbell. Some people have only a bar. There are a few who have both. Now, when we do with training only with a bar, when we train with a bar, we have less variations. But with dumbbells, we have more variations. Have you noticed that? With the dumbbell, you can do more variations. You can do different muscle gyrations that you can work with the dumbbell. But when you're doing with a bar, you can go and gain for size.
Yeah. No, I guess you're referring to the compound exercise and isolate exercise, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about a compound exercise, what do you mean by compound exercise? Where if I'm doing a squat, okay? When I'm doing a squat, it's working on my quads, it's working a bit on my calves, it's working on my hands also. So it's a kind of a compound together. That's when we say it's a compound exercise. Right? It's a multiple this thing. It's not only that one this thing that you're doing, one muscular isolation that we are working on. When you do a compound, it has a certain variation. It is working on the other muscles also.
Exactly. No, but it's a blessing either way. I mean, gym was blessing. This is another type of blessing. As people say, life is a roller coaster. It depends on how you do, what you do. during that. You can shout, scream, or you can enjoy and fun and laugh. So I'm laughing at it.
That's true. That's true. Whatever we have to make the best of whatever we have at the moment So what else? Any more questions across? Saroj, how about you?
I've been doing Pilates for now 21 years.
Wow.
I just wanted to follow up this Zoom because I'm so always impressed with the subjects you choose. And I think you give me much more extra information that I would not get otherwise. So I have no questions. I'm very happy to hear other people's views and opinions, and more so your methods of techniques. That's all I'm very happy with. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it. That's where I started this now. It's now, I believe it's going to be now a little over, and it's going to be 3 years from the time when I started with this Sportify. And I wanted to cover up the topics which is not being covered generally. And also these are the topics which are very simple. Where we are doing and we come across on our daily lives, but we tend to overlook them. So that is why I prefer to pick up these topics and talk more about them.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you.
Yes.
Sunil, I am...
Yes.
Sunil, I'm a young man of 60, you know that. So...
we all are young.
Yeah, sure. So therefore I said I'm young. Now mentally I can handle that age, but physically I need to understand whether gymming is more important for me or swimming.
Swimming is an all-time favorite. Nothing can beat swimming. Nothing can beat swimming. If you are talking in terms of cardio, if you talk of terms of muscle strength, if you talk of terms of your lung strength and everything, then I think swimming is the best. And if you have swimming across, you are done with anything and everything. So you don't need anything as such. So for me, I think so right now, if you want to do anything, instead of, if you have the option of hitting the pool every day for an hour, do that.
My only apprehension about this is the quality of swimming pools that we have in India.
Yes. Then we can do if you don't have so what I understand, you don't have access to a good pool.
Well, I don't know what is a good pool. So yeah, I don't have a private pool. So I have to go to a public pool. Now, public pool could be anything, but to what extent is the quality of the pool important?
The quality of the pool, see, as far as when I talk about the quality of the pool is like the amount of chlorine level that they have inside. In India, they don't maintain the chlorine level in the waters. The filtration plants which they have here is really horrendous. So really, they don't know how to really maintain a swimming pool when the quality wise. But then again, when I talk about workout structure as such, you need to find a pool where you can have at least a 50-meter, you can do your laps up and down, where you at least have a freedom of doing that without being, being blocked by other people around. So if you can select a time when there is nobody around there, so where you can have your laps, that should do your work for you.
Okay, thanks.
But again, coming to the aspect of if you don't have an access to a pool, then yes, the other alternative is where you can get onto the gym. But when you get onto the gym, then I would limit your training with basically be more on the cardio, where you'll be doing more of the treadmill and the stationary bicycle, and with less of weights for the initial few months to build up before you can start moving on to proper weight training.
No, weight training is not. No, weight training is not what I'm looking out for. Uh, my friends like me in the way that I am, as far as my muscles are concerned. Uh, but
No, but see, no, Bharati, that's where don't you're mistaken here. See, weight training doesn't mean that I'm building a muscle. Weight training can also be just to keep your muscles nimble and keep your muscles active. So they can take, if you have one, what happens, the whole idea for the muscle is when they are a little bit more active, they are more, tightened up. So if there are any kind of jerks, so they work as shock absorbers. It does not, like if I have a back issue. Now, personally for me, I have a slip disc, right? So what I tend to do is I tend to work the muscles around my spine. So what happens is if I'm doing any kind of a wrong movement in the gym, or if I have to bend over or bend down, so my muscles are taking the pressure, not my spine. So first the muscles take it. And if my muscles are weak, then it'll hit my spine and I'm going to be really in trouble. So muscle building is not that you're going to become a bodybuilder or something, or you're going to have huge muscles. That is a different kind of a training altogether. What I'm saying for you is basically is required is muscle striations that you have for your day-to-day work, and you can carry on doing things more effectively.
Sure, yeah. Thanks. But
Yes?
no questions from you. Are you going to ask him all the questions at home?
I would want to say that with no maids at home now, the only exercise I do is of cleaning the place, cleaning the house. Initially, like he was explaining you about the muscles and they need to be, moving around soreness as well. So initially, when I was, it is any job you do in the house. It is called what is that word you all call? What exercise? They have those ropes and all in the gym.
Functional
Functional
training.
training. So all that was initially was function. My elbows used to hurt, my shoulders used to hurt, but now I'm just watching and I'm looking at myself. I'm at least getting some shape here, which I never had, thanks to the no maid in the house. And initially was a big task, but gradually, I'm also realizing my lower back is getting stronger. So all the movements that happen, whether it's picking up a bucket or taking a mop in your hand, or bending down to remove something in the kitchen, everything is functional training. So like Sunil is around, so he's also helping me in the sense, like if I'm cooking, he says, okay, now make sure you do a little of the leg raises, or you do a little of the scouts while you're just moving the ladle around in the vessel and things like that. So these really help, because I'm a no gym person. I hate the gym, and we both are contrast. Me and Sunil, we both are contrast. So it's like, you talk of gym, I cannot sit on a treadmill or on a bicycle and just sit for like 5-10 minutes in a row and just continuously it's too boring for me. I cannot do. You tell me to do a particular job or mop the whole house 10 times, I'm okay to do that. I'll do it. But when it comes to the gym, I don't like it. I can walk. Yeah, he pushes me to walk. He tells me to do a lot of cardio, which, well, as you go plus over 40, I mean, cardio is must. And I'm realizing the sensitivity it's giving to my body, as to if I'm not doing any cardio, or if I've not done anything and laid low in the house for a day or two, it affects my body and my mental state of mind as well. So yeah, I mean, body workout, any sort of movement is very important in the house, and I would suggest that to everybody. I keep telling that to my friends also, who are like so helpless without a maid. I said, it's okay, you don't have a maid, you're not going to the gym, be a maid, do the gym workout at home. That's the best thing you can do, is what I have to say, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I like to add to this also is basically what has happened is now during the lockdown, we all are confined to our four walls. Before the lockdown, even the person who wasn't training, right, who wasn't going to the gym, who wasn't, but at least they were moving. They used to go down, they used to walk, go to the market, go to the supermarket, go to the school, pick up the kid or whatever it is. That there was a movement, sitting on the bike, in the car. There has been a movement to the body. But with the lockdown, what has happened? We are just sitting on our couches. We are moving from one room to the other, which is hardly anything. So it is really affecting everybody's health. So that is when I strongly recommend and I suggest that at least 15 to 20 minutes of active movement to your body, a spot jogging or whatever is required. You need to do it just to get the blood circulation moving. And if you can give at least half an hour, then it is you're sorted. But then that half an hour has to be really rigorous, where you know that you at the end of 30 minutes you are going to sweat it out, that you felt that you have done something. So it's very a must for all of us to do that while sitting at home. And even for people like the Dinah or Arash, you all have your clients and all that stuff, and you all need to just go across and tell them that they need to do some activities, something or the other, just move, dance, whatever is there, put on the music and just dance for 30 minutes. Do spot jogging, whatever is there that they require, but at least they need to move.
I have known of many people who got cardiac arrest in the last 2-3 months. Young guys dying, couple of them whom I had known in my circle as well. And the only reason because of this is stress, which is the case for practically everybody. And number two is no exercises, as in no movements to the body at all. There has to be a movement which everybody needs to perform while being in the house. Be it anything, even if you're confined to a kitchen, you'll just bend an extra mile, go down, do a little squat, pick up stuff and things like that, which is really, really very important to perform these two things. That's what I can say.
Now, just to add something to your statement, Hari,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. Home activities like cleaning and everything, I believe Sunil is the best to guide. But from my experience, what I have noticed that mostly females, especially from this perspective, they are mistaken is all the activities in the house, from cleaning to picking up everything, it all challenges your anterior side of your body. And that will you feel like you are doing all the activities, but you are actually missing the posterior side of your body activities, because your triceps will hardly be challenged in any of the activities at home. Your back will hardly be challenged. So all the activities will be challenging your anterior side. So now Sunil could maybe explain some in better knowledgeable way that what are the additional exercise that most of the humans, like all of us, we really need to add to our routine, just to make sure that the curve which will happen eventually on your spine after some certain age, which slow down, and then we can stay more handsome and good looking till rest of our life.
Yeah,
you're correct. You're right.
See, again, the kind of exercises is all very subjective. It's going to be depending on person to person. It depends on what kind of history that person has. If a person, like if there's Saroj, she has, with her age, I need to take into consideration what exercise that she will be doing. If I'm talking about Merzi, it's also the same thing. If he has a certain medical condition, then I have to accordingly make sure that the exercise that I'm going to give him. So the point being is these exercises are very subjective. So if I give a general statement as such that you need to do this or you need to do that, then it would not be right also. But hypothetically, yes, there are a lot of exercises that one can do. Let's assume now that we all are fine and okay and we can do the things. There are a lot of exercises that one can do at home. So now, fortunately, we have the availability of dumbbells there. We have TheraBands also, which we can use, because there was a time when in our time, we did not have all this. We used to have what we used to call the bulwarkers and all that stuff, if you are at training at home. But now there are a lot of things where you can do the trainings at home just for you to be active. So basically what I usually always recommend to people is to start off with the Surya Namaskars. The Surya Namaskar is something that 11 movements which is there. It kind of confines your body right from your head to your toe. It gives you the complete movement and the posture and everything that you need to do. So I tell everybody, now if you have the capacity to do around say 20 Surya Namaskars at one go, do it. If you have a bigger capacity, do 50. Go up to 100 Surya Namaskars a day. But this is something which will help you overall, where you are building up first of all, the core strength is there, which you are using your own body weight, because this has all the body weight that you're using. You're doing the squatting, you're doing the uplift hands, you're working on your shoulder, you're working on the when you do the push downs also. So these are variations, is a complete overall person that can do at home. A Surya Namaskar with you. Even if a person who has a certain medical problem also can do this conveniently.
Can I show you something?
Yes, please.
I've been doing fascia for 2 years now. I don't know what's your views. I know you are an all-rounder as far as body strength is concerned. So my teacher, she said at home, these are the swimming tubes. They're in a circular.
Yes.
You cut them into half, and it's like the reflexology. You walk on them, either this way, or you go back and forth. And I think immediately it aligns your body. As soon as you are on this, first time you'll see yourself going all over the place. And you have this, and then you have this one, which is much longer, if you notice.
Yes.
In the centimeters, they're about centimeters. You have to cut them, and then you walk all the way through. At some point, on your neck, on your back, just a little input in case somebody at home wants to do these.
Okay, that's good. See, what you have mentioned is basically what is for the body balancing that you require. And this kind of exercise is basically post sports surgery itself. If you have especially it's meant for the stabilizing. It's the stabilization basically exercise. That's what you're talking of, right? And this is the kind of exercise if you had a knee surgery or if you had a hip surgery, right? Where after your surgery, you need to start walking and you need to have stabilized, you need to have the whole complete body structure stabilized. The center of gravity of the body is completely shaken off. And that's why you need to start using this way of doing it. So there are these forms, but again, if people who have those issues and they can use this, but then as such, I don't see much what you can say effectiveness to this on a longer run, because once you have achieved this, then what is the next post this?
Then I suppose your rest of your other exercises are better balanced. You have got an alignment to work with.
But why has he given you this, may I ask you?
No, it's just she's so determined that to do any exercises, we need to have fascia, the connections, the tissues, everything has to be stretched. Like you said, move, and you must move for the muscles, not the bones.
Exactly.
And he just suggested that, at home you're doing nothing, just walk on these things. And in the kitchen, when you're cooking, you have it vertical. And you just sort of up and down. Like Miss Pari said, that she lifts her legs and handles things with her hand. This is just for your feet. That's all. It gives you such a confidence.
Yes, that way,
I
yes.
just thought I'd share this because
Oh,
I
no, it is
know
nice.
it's not something done as a traditional equipment.
No, it is nice of you to share that. Yes, and I assume that even for a lot of people out here can do that also. But what I was basically mentioning is this is something where I had mentioned earlier also is for a post surgery recovery kind of exercise that we give for
Yes.
this. And again, if you want to do it on this thing, but then what happens is then you need to upscale this post test. So once you have, managed to walk through that easily and all that stuff, then you need to challenge your body. So this is how it is. See, because see, bodybuilding is a very passive sport. So when I say it's a very passive sport, in the sense like we have the weights, we have the equipments, we have the machinery, and we are there. But in order for us to go and do something, we need to push ourselves. So that is why I'm saying it's a very passive sport. So we need to push ourselves to do more beyond than what is given to us. So if I'm suppose lifting up, say, 10 kilos today, so tomorrow I should make it a point that I lift 12 kilos. Then I should make it a point that I keep increasing gradually. Yes? Or what other movement exercises you're doing? I'd like to come back to Arash with regards to your point also, where you have mentioned with regards to the different kinds of exercises that one needs to do. So you have anything in particular in mind with regards to, you're talking of muscle strengthening, you're talking in terms of flexibility, you're talk of in terms of functionality. Do you have anything in particular in mind when you mention that?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you. Flexibility, I guess, is the biggest challenge right now because, again, another component that we usually forget about is flexibility, and we don't really focus on it. I suffer from it because as you mentioned, I am a mixed martial artist. Flexibility is needed for me, but at the same time, I need to build a strength in my, especially legs. And the biggest challenge that I face is my hamstrings. The moment I do any leg exercise,
Yes.
yes, my hamstring get tight, and again, I lose my flexibility. My kicks are not coming high. So yeah, my hips. Imagine now the hips. I can flex my hips for a number of degrees. It's fine, but the hamstring is not allowing me. So that's something I really am in trouble. So if anything, not Surya Namaskar in your while you're talking, I was thinking like, yeah, that would be actually a good idea. I can start doing that. Is actually because again, you feel bored just to flexing yourself 10 seconds, 20 seconds hold. You want to do something more fun, more active.
Yes.
I know it sounds silly coming from me who try to motivate others, but still it's a fact. So yes, Surya Namaskar I'm going to try, but in case you have any other suggestion which can help me to hamstring me.
Yeah. Now, for you, naturally, a Surya Namaskar for you would be an understatement right now, because when you talk about something for yourself, then in order for you to have the effectiveness, you would need to do at least 200 Surya Namaskar for you to really feel the effectiveness of it. So that is the whole thing. So for you, it wouldn't make any sense right now. But as a general statement, I had mentioned for Surya Namaskar, that was it. But when we talk about the flexibility, we need to understand one thing is that our muscles are basically elastic, right? And when we are talking of the hamstring, and you are saying that when you talk of the kicks and all that stuff, you are raising your legs to a certain height, angle, and then your hamstrings are getting stretched, right?
True.
So we also have to understand that every human being has a certain limitation. The hamstring can be stretched, their isos can be stretched to a certain extent, beyond which if you go and if you feel a pain, that means that is the point where you have to really slow it and take it easy from there on. So in your case, you've always had the case, whenever you did those, you always had the pain in your hamstring?
Well, since I was small, I had this fantasy of kickboxer Jean-Claude Van Damme doing splits. You know, you want to do a splits, but I
Yes.
haven't been able to achieve it yet. That's one of my long time dreams to make it happen, and I'm going to make it. I know I'm going to, but still, it's not happening. And not knowing the exact path. Now, back in the days, I used to do yoga with a friend of mine. So he used to teach me different ways, but still, I got close to the split, but I could never actually done it. You know, I never did it.
Okay.
So that would be any exercise which could be a bit interesting to do, challenging to do, and yes, functional for me. Yes, that would be nice because, as I said, I can open up my hips. The hips will not stop me, but the hamstring, the pull that
That's one. Yes,
happens in me,
exactly. Yes.
that
But
will not
tell
allow.
me one thing. When you do that, when you do the split and you come up, and does that pain linger on, or does the pain go off after a few minutes?
No, it just is instant. It's just an instant.
It's
Just
instant
like
and goes
if I
off.
try, I speak about kick. If I try to kick, because I use my body to go down.
Yes.
So since my body goes down, my kick comes high. But if I do it in the same way and maintain the body up there, the kick does not come up because the leg does not allow. There is no room for it much.
Yes. Okay. See, now we need to understand again is your upper body to your lower body ratio. We need to take that into also account.
True.
And
True.
whenever we are
Yes.
doing these martial arts and all, so we have this kind of a combination because for the kicks and all that stuff, so we need to see that. So flexibility wise for a split and all, and now tell me one thing, is the angle and the degree which you are talking of, has it improved? Have you managed to always go down further to the floor, or is it always been stuck to a certain angle itself?
I think it's certain angle because there is
So
no
when you
injury. I
talk
have
about
no
a
injury.
split, when you talk about split, have you managed
Yes.
to go down fully like this, or you've always been stuck
No,
at an angle?
always stuck at
You're always
like
stuck
the
at an
same
angle.
way there.
And always you've been done there. So the only thing here you can do this is with weight.
Oh.
You have to have somebody when you are in that angle, right? You need to have somebody give you a weight on your hand. So that weight will slowly push you down. So the weight will slowly open up the leg.
Thank you.
You get my point? You need to have
Yes.
some pressure to that. But remember one thing, you need to go very light on this one. If you start, say right now, take a 5 kilo weight, let's see how it's feel on your hamstring. If the pain is more, that means you need to go on a lighter weight. If the pain is still the same, so that's good. Just hold on to that position as long as you can. And you have to make sure you are going in and out.
In and out.
So what you will have to do is you will have to keep yourself rested against the wall. So you don't lose your balance, and you need to have somebody to give you the weight. Or you can take the weight by yourself and you can do it. Once you have surpassed that 5 kilo where you think now I can go more than that, then you can go with the heavier weight. Because now if you go with a heavier weight directly, Arash, what will happen is you will unnecessarily push your ham, right? And there will be a tear. You get my point?
True. Now, just
Yeah,
to
Dinah.
complete.
Sorry. I have Dinah. Yes, Dinah. Dinah, you were asking? One minute.
Hi, Sunil.
Yes,
Can you hear
Dinah.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
No,
now.
you complete Arish's queries first. I have another question.
Ah.
Okay. I thought it was related to that one. Yes, Arash. Sorry then. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to complete the question. Now, whenever we give any exercise to anyone, we give the number of repetition and the sets. Now, if what you mentioned with the weights and everything, as I have in my mind, now, would you recommend time-wise, or would you recommend the number of pulse I do?
No.
What would you?
See, this is when you're doing a strength, then you don't go with the repetitions. You go time. You hold on for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Not more than 3 minutes. If you're holding more than 3 minutes, that means you have already exceeded that weight. So you need to go higher weight. and if you've not
Right.
achieved the goal.
All right. Thank you.
And again, when we come to the light weights, right, and for more repetitions, and when we see, why do we do light weights and more repetitions, heavy weights and less repetitions? Is because, again, what we want to do now, in your case, the way I look at your body structure right now, you have the size now. You have the size where now you need to go light with more repetitions in order to get the definition, to have the muscle striations out properly. But then again, here what happens is people make a mistake when they want to do more repetitions. They tend to lose the concentration, the technique of the exercise. They want to do it fast. And that's where the people make the mistake. When you're doing light, you always have to go in the strict form. And I always mention when the light training, I call it a 3-second lift. When I say a 3-second lift, is suppose if I have to do my bicep curl. So I'm going to take 3 seconds to go up, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take 3 seconds to go down. And it has to be a continuous movement of 15 reps. And my body structure has to be straight, strong for a light training. When I do heavy, I can do up to like 8 repetitions. Even I can go down to like 3, 4 repetitions. I can do some cheating also. I can take some help from my back. But that is to gain size. Once we achieve the size, we need the shape. That's when we need to work things out. Exactly what exactly is the goal that you want to achieve. And Dinah, I had seen your videos also, and I had also corrected you on that one where you were training and your movements were very fast with the lightweight. So with the lightweight, your movements have to be very slow and concentrated. Okay, it's a 3-second lift for anything. Even if I have to do my chest also, 3 seconds down, 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds literally, 1, 2, 3 up.
Okay, Sunil, I have a question about stretches. Now, in K11, we had done a topic on stretches, right? And they had told on stretches.
Stretches, yes.
Right? Yes. So now in certain gyms, now certain trainers make their client do only warm up before workout on the treadmill for 10 minutes and they come on the floor. And some people like we have been taught to do dynamic drills of your stretches and all. Okay. So some people do Surya Namaskar and some people do dynamic drills and some people do on the treadmill. So what is the right way? Like when you're doing Surya Namaskar, my clients already get tired in that Surya Namaskar things. Okay, and some people do dynamic drills and some people do on treadmill. So what is the right way to do stretches before workout?
When you do the dynamic, when you do the dynamic drills is for people who are really into hardcore weight training. I would suggest for them is to go for dynamic weight, take some light weight before you start doing that exercise. You don't need the treadmill or anything as such. But for people who are kind of doing a mix of your cardio and your weight, right? For them, they can do the Surya Namaskar because see, Surya Namaskar itself helps to build up the cardio strength also with it. That's where they feel the huffing and the puffing can happen with them, or that can happen in the treadmill also. So again, what exactly is your client wanting to do, or what you want your client to do? That is how it would work, right? So again, if you're really going into weight training, then you can go with a lighter weight to start your workout routine just to get the blood flowing in. Why do you do the warm-ups and all that stuff? Is just to get the blood flowing in order to avoid any injuries.
Correct.
And also talking of stretches and all that stuff, I see a lot of these trainers, unfortunately, they're doing a wrong thing is they are pulling and tugging their clients in all kinds. The clients, I see them literally crying when they're being stretched in all directions. And, it's really stupidity. You don't need anybody to do your stretches. Only you need to do your own stretches and wherever and how much ever your body allows you to. If you have somebody else do it for you, you are asking for trouble. Now you are young, you will not see the problem, but your muscle is, like I said, your muscle is an elastic, right? How we see an elastic over a period of time, right, loses elasticity. So if I am already stretched my muscle at my young age completely, when I'm going to get old and I'm not going to be training, it's going to be just dangling. And we don't want that. So,
and why do you not do stretches in between your workout?
no. You always have to do stretches, but the right kind of stretches. Because see, if you want to grow, Arash, even this for you also, yeah. If you want to grow, your muscle wants to grow, right? Any kind of training that you want to do, if you want to do your bicep, right, or if you want to do your tricep, make sure you stretch them before you start weight training. Always. You have one overall stretching done, right, to pump up the blood into your system. So you are done with that. But once you start progressing with your exercise, so suppose if I'm doing my arms routine, right? If I'm doing my bicep and my tricep. So what I will do is post my regular stretches and my warm-ups and all that stuff. I will make sure that I do only my bicep stretching when I'm going to do my bicep training. Then I will move on to my tricep and I'll make sure I do my tricep stretching before I start my tricep training. And again, stretching gives you mobility, flexibility, and also helps you grow faster.
This is an interesting topic, stretching, but
yes.
She asked you the exact timing of stretching. From my mentality, I used to think that stretching need to be happening only post exercise. But what Sunil now you explaining is actually interesting topic for me, is because you are saying even in middle of the sets, in middle of the repetition, it can be done. Now, why I was thinking that it should not be done, now from my mentality, was because when we are, as you said, elastic, when we are pulling it, but now we pull the muscle is relieved from all the stress, pain and everything. Now again, I'm going to take the same muscle under heavy weight of a squat and suddenly put pressure. That's what was the reason I was not doing it in middle of the exercise. And I was saying, no, this is wrong, because you cannot expect a muscle to get pulled and again get contracted, again get pulled, I was thinking it might increase the injuries unless and until I'm really locked, the muscle are really locked. I would say, okay, just do it once in order for muscle to get released. But doing it repetitions and repeatedly in middle of the exercise, please verify me why it needs to be done and what's the benefit.
No, you need to, because see, especially when you're locked down, right? That is the time when you should be very careful whether you should be stretching at that point of time or no. A lot of people make that mistake. Now, suppose if I'm doing my military press behind the neck, many times I get a back, my neck locks up behind there, right? With the military press, that's very common. So if at that point of time when I'm doing my stretches, right, if I am going to do my neck like this and all that stuff, I will increase the injury furthermore. Because it's been locked. So what I tend to do is I don't move at all. I just stay still and I wait for my muscles, which have really strained at that point of time, just to relax, and then they will work their way out. Then there will be a movement. When I'm talking about the stretches is now, suppose if I'm doing my bench press, right?
Yes.
So what we tend to do is then after I've done my bench press, and I will go press, I do this stretches, inner stretches. Why I do this, right? Because once it is all pumped up, right, I am giving a shape. I'm kind of molding my chest in a much more easier way. You get my point? It is like I'm just shaping it up slowly.
Yeah, but that's not noticeable. But that's a different type of stretching that you are not mentioning.
Yes.
Because the stretching for chest would be if I keep my hands straight waist.
That is Yes. Now that is when I am saying that kind of a stretching. When you talk about that, that is when I am going to start my training. Before my training.
But not in the middle of the sets.
No,
That's
it's not required. Yes. before my training, like I said. Now, if I'm going to do my biceps, so I am going to make sure I'm going to stretch my biceps. If I'm going to make sure I'm going to stretch my tricep before. You get my point? It is before my training. So when I do that stretching of my bicep or my chest, I am kind of creating that kind of a friction around there where I can start filling it up further when I start exercising. So what you are saying is exactly what I am saying to that.
Sunil, when you stretch, all right?
Yes.
You said, hear me? When you stretch, do you stretch and hold or just stretch and leave? That means, do you say, okay, you've stretched to one side, you've stretched to one side, do you say stretch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then leave, or stretch and leave?
No, you have to hold it there for some time. You have to hold it. So when you stretch, yes, you have to count. You have to hold it there for at least a few seconds before you can. That's when you will actually feel the stretch coming along. Yes, Sunil Goenka, right? I have somebody here who's. I can't hear you.
Now it's come.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Sunil, tell me, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Great. Sunil, I do some form of exercise. Like lately, my son got the stationary cycling, which I was on 16th of July, and I was doing it quite regularly. But from 1st of August, because I'm a hypothyroid patient, sometimes the thyroid fluctuates a lot. And I notice suddenly in the morning when I'm up, my BP is 150 by 100. And by evening, late evening, it's back to 120 by 80. So I'm being little hesitant to do any form of exercise. It's like, having quit exercise totally. Even I used to do pranayam in the morning when I get up, and then do a little of, 30 minutes of stationary cycling, and then a bit of arms with the light weight of 10 pounds, and then a little back exercise. Now, the reason that can we do some form of exercise with this high BP or no, with the stationary cycling?
See, with the high BP itself, you have to be very careful, because when you are on a high BP and you exercising, it can really shoot up further. So you should be very careful with that. You should make sure that your BP is down, right, before you can really do anything. And again, stationary cycling also, again, what kind of movement are you doing? Are you going to be very active out there? Or you're just going to be just...
light cycling, lightly, just doing lightly because of the BP. Otherwise, I would do at a speed of around 30 kilometers per hour, but then maybe I could bring it down to 25, and that's quite light, then.
And you always have this in the morning, right?
Yeah, this has been happening lately, the last 10 days. Possibly, for what reason, I don't know. But earlier, sometimes I used to have BP, but not regular case, and I'm not on regular BP tablet. But I don't want to be on a BP tablet. But lately, maybe stress, so I'm trying to get rid of the stress also, the work stress or whatever may be the reason. But then, for me, important is because I'm hypothyroid, I have to exercise regularly.
Yes.
Okay, yes. I do in between 1 or 2 days, but I see that I do 3 times a week or 4 times a week at least. Now, how do I, doctor says just walk. Now, walk is something which is not my cup of tea. I don't feel having exercised anything, And when my son got the stationary cycle at home, I was quite happy with it and doing it sincerely. But then, is it okay if I do stationary cycle on a slow basis? Your doctors always have their own version all the time,
No. That is true. You have to learn to listen to your body itself. Then again, now you said for the last few days only you've got this high BP and all that stuff. First, try to determine why you're getting this.
Yes.
Yeah. So also, do you get headaches?
Not exactly, but then I feel like as if a dizziness or swing sort of thing. So my doctor gave me Vertin to have Vertin thrice a day, which I
That's
felt
why your
little
vertigo
better.
kind of issue.
But morning, I don't have vertigo as such, but then morning, I feel like, something like, dizziness and things like that, which is not very healthy because now I'm 60 and I want to do exercise regularly. And this thing is not going to be good for me not exercising. How do you suggest me to resume something?
No, yeah, no. We can see it's not really. We need to first of all understand where the problem is before we can do anything. So now, another. Let me ask you one more question, Sunil. Here is like, how do you get up in the morning? You really get up in a jerk, or you snooze yourself out, or you get up right away from the bed? How do you get up? Because that disease
So,
spell, what you're saying, is not really good. It's basically your body is giving you some kind of a sign.
I don't get up with a jerk. We're always just to turn to one of the side, right side or left side, and then like with a little hand, this one, and get up slowly. Never, with a jerk or things like that, either in the
And
past or
you still
currently
have
also.
that kind of a disease now.
Yes, it does feel like and it remains for a while. At times also, then I feel, oh, the BP must be high, so I feel like swaying across also, and I don't know because I don't want to have a regular basis BP tablets, and I'm always not in favor of BP tablets. Um, I want to be normal, absolutely, with exercise, with food habits. I take moringa juice in the morning. I take little warm water in the morning, or anything that you would suggest me, so that I could resume my pranayam. I saw Ramdev was saying, okay, do Chandra Bedi pranayam. It's good for the BP. But when I noticed I did 10 counts, I was feeling slightly heaviness on the head. So is it maybe because I'm starting again after 10 days, or is it the BP that is really hurting me? Because I'm really concerned, uh, or maybe I'm tense because of the BP, and the BP is there because of the tension. I don't know how to come out of it.
Yeah, that's a correlated. It's correlated. The stress is naturally adding up to the BP itself. And what you're saying, I truly agree that once you start with the BP medication, then your body would require that all the time. So avoid it as much as possible. What I see, there could be a problem in your nighttime sleep. So are you
Possibly.
getting a
But
sound sleep?
oh, sleep was always a sleep disorder for me right from beginning. But I would, uh, even I would avoid taking sleeping tablets, and some maximum that I try to avoid is taking them. But lately, I've been doing that. Maybe half of Zol Fresh, or then doctor said, okay, maybe for muscular relaxation to take tryptomer, that amitriptyline, which relaxes the muscle. So that will also give you little sleep better. Fine. But then that gives too much of sleep for me to get up even before 8 or 9. Normally, I would try to get up at 6.
Yeah,
But then
but
this is
what is the
little
potency? What is the strength
bias.
of the tryptoma?
25 mg.
25
Because
mg. Wow.
about 5 years back, he used to give me, for 2 years, I took that. And I said, look, you're making me a habit forming. I don't want to have it. He said, okay, quit it. Now again, he made me start last 7 days. I'm taking that, but I want to quit all this amitriptyline or taking BP tablets. So what could be the ideal suggestion? I'm really confused on that, or worried on
See,
that rather.
yeah. See, I would suggest that 25 mg is too strong. I think so. You should go for a 10 mg on that one. First thing, and again, your diet wise also you need to take into account what you've been eating in the night.
Mm-hmm.
So that is also which you need
Well,
to take into consideration.
you see, for me, taking salt, no salt makes no difference. In fact, I love food without salt also at times. But then the doctor said, look, if you totally avoid salt for no reason, your sodium levels are going down, which could be harmful to you. Because sodium level should be around 130, 140, I think so. And my sodium level was 133 in the last test. So he said, no, don't have. But I said, look, I don't take too much salt. What we have in our home is a normal salt intake. And I never liked too much of salt myself. Now, when they started giving me without salt food, people normally avoid the food. But I used to find little sweetness doing there a lot without salt, And I used to love that food. But the doctor said, no, you have to have salt. So now there's a big confusion for me to really settle down with it. So if you could advise me now or later by, whatever
Yes.
way that you could.
We'll
help
have
me
to,
out.
yes. I'll talk to you later on this
Please.
one, and we'll take this
Sure.
one-on-one, and then it's not really an
Yes.
issue because you just had this. I can see where the problem is, and if we can work towards that, then it'll be all easy. Don't worry. So
Please, I do want
worries,
to get
no worries.
this type of thing on
But
regular
don't
basis.
don't take the BP medication for now. So we'll take this conversation further tomorrow, and we'll discuss this as to what we should do in order to avoid this.
That's fine. I'll talk to you subsequently what will happen.
Yes.
Maybe after this session, I'll give you a call.
Yes.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Yeah, anytime. And how's everything otherwise we've gone way beyond the time right now. So what I'm
You're so
planning to do
interesting. Your
now.
talks are so interesting that we don't mind sitting another half an hour with you.
Yeah.
You have been a good this.
Thank you. So now I'm really glad that we've taken this step.
It has been very informative. But what I suggest now, what you do is that we all would agree that this this kind of a digital media would have its own limitations. So why don't we have some kind of physical sessions sometime in Bombay, sometimes in Pune, and why don't you have these physical? You may have small groups, but this interactive, a physical interactive session would be far more better in terms of understanding things, and of course we'll be very happy and motivated to see your full body also. So.
Mazi, you're very much right. I'm with you. We have to pull Sunil back to Bombay.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's have these small group sessions, 5, 10, 15 people, and so we can have those, and it'll be very nice to sort of understand things a little better, because now when we talk about stretching and this and that, in those kind of sessions, you can actually physically show us as to what you are talking about.
Yes.
Good,
I truly agree. I truly agree with
is,
you on this one.
We can if Saroj is going to sponsor, we can have the one session in Geneva itself.
But I'll tell you, Mercy, because of this COVID has really put a lot of things out of order and a lot of distance among people. That's not really, this thing has been really a curse, I would say. Anyway, we have to live with it.
Well, I think all the wives are just to be on the lighter side. All the wives are very happy with their husband's social distancing.
So you're away with your secretary, huh?
Well, okay. I think so. We'll have to call the session off now. And what I will be doing I will be having the session once a week. So I was thinking every Sunday at the same time. I believe it's convenient for all of you on Sundays, because I feel Sunday everybody's at home and all. So we will pick up a topic, and I will share the topic a couple of days prior to that. And then whatever questions you all have is related to that. So today I had the idea was to share some slides on the different techniques of exercises and all that stuff, which I think so would have been more helpful for Arush and for Dinah. But nevertheless, next week I will keep a topic on nutrition. Yeah, so we can talk about the what is good and what is not good to eat. But for me, whenever anybody talks to me about diet, I say eat anything and everything as long as you know how to burn it. So simple as that for me. But then we'll talk further about it. And if you all have any other further suggestions, please feel free to post it across, and we'll discuss this further.
Yeah. Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Yes.